Hello everyone, I'm Andy. Thank you for watching. Welcome back to my garden. Now, today's video is part 2 of how to keep your chicken enclosure, in particular your chicken run, clean. So, in my previous video, we just looked at how to make a basic foot dip for your hens. Now, there's a couple of other things that I use as well, just to kind of help keep their enclosure nice and clean and as hygienic as possible, really. So let's get into it and I'll show you what I use. So this first part, it sort of depends on what breed of chickens you've got, really. If you've got your standard hybrid layers, you know, their kind of general purpose is to lay eggs. They love to scratch around, and so if you keep them in the same area, they will kind of turn that over. So if you've got a nice, you know, a nice patch of lawn, nice patch of grass, within a matter of you know, a week or so, that'll be turned over because they love to scratch. If you've got the breeds, you know, with the kind of furry feet and feathered feet, then they tend not to kind of scratch around, so you might kind of get away with it. But the first thing we're going to look at is just to kind of how to control certainly muddy patches, really, in your chicken enclosure. So just before we get into this, here's Frank Jr. He's still in his isolation period at the minute. They all seem to be taking quite well to each other. The existing hens are very interested in him, but there's no immediate signs of squabbling or anything like that. But isn't he handsome? Bless him. I'm going to get this second bag down quickly. I sort of tend, really, as I say, I do this every year. I'll tend to put it all around the coop. That's where it tends to get quite worn down. Some more there. So that'll do for now. Just spread this out where they have their drink and where they go to have their food. So it just helps keep that level of mud down just enough. And you girls love scratching around in it, so it's a win-win. Fine. Right then, so let's get on to the second thing then, and this is a product which, if you're a chicken keeper, you've kind of got to have in your arsenal. So, the other product then that I use, and if you're new to the world of keeping chickens, it is one that I highly recommend you keep in your cupboard, and that is ground sanitizing powder. Now, this is a wonderfully kind of versatile product. It's great to use, especially this time of year when, you know, your droppings are building up and it's getting a bit sludgy and a bit muddy and all the rest of it. You know, the flies are kind of trying to invade your coop, things like that. This is where this product comes in. So I use 2 different ground sanitizing powders. I'll put the link in the description. But this one in particular, I can open it. Is just have to reorder some. So this is from Nature's Grub. Essentially it's a drying agent, but it smells really nice. It's almost kind of like a natural diatomaceous earth, I guess. It's that type of product, but this will kill you know, little larvae and, you know, insect eggs and things like that, and it stops the build up of bacteria and fungus. But on top of that, it smells nice, so it's really easy to distribute anywhere you've got a build up of droppings. So in fact, let me take you over here, because this will need a top up. So in this shelter that I built them, this is just their wind shelter, there's a fair bit of droppings going on. You can see I've already put some in there, but just in their wind shelter there, you know, it's an ideal place just to put some. It's just a case of sprinkling it on, but you can also use this in the coop. You can use this in anywhere in the run where you've got a build up of droppings, and it smells really nice. So there you have it. That is essentially some of the basic things you can do to keep your chicken enclosure as clean as possible and as hygienic for your birds. That's it really. I'd highly recommend wearing gloves if you do use it, but as you can see, I've just sort of put some down now on the ground where there's a build up of drop-ins underneath their feeders, by their drinkers, places like that. It's a great place to put it, just purely because that's where it kind of gets heavily trodden, and if there's any, you know, worm eggs and stuff lying around, then it just gets rid of them. But on a kind of another note, just quickly, thank you to everyone that has got in touch recently. Thank you to all the, you know, for all the kind of comments of support. It's great engaging with everyone that's kind of watching this, and I'm glad you know you can kind of take something away from this. That's the whole kind of aim really when I started my YouTube channel, was just to kind of share little tips and tricks and things that I do, you know, not just with the chickens but around the whole plot as well. So next week we'll have a little look in the veggie garden. We'll have a proper kind of tour and a detailed look around there. Thank you to Pete as well for getting in touch, my fellow Shropshire countyman. So hopefully, mate, that will kind of next week provide you with some inspiration on, you know, whatever it is you're kind of looking to do in your garden. So, but thank you to everyone that's subscribed recently, and you know, thank you again for the support and the following. It's much appreciated. Any questions? Please do feel free to get in touch, and I'll see you next week. Take care. Bye.